Many times I've told you guys that when you're attacking, you want to open lines to the king, and we also want to close the lines of the files and diagonals to our own king. This game I played is a great example of just that, and it comes out of the Caro-Kann, a bonus because I know a lot of you love the Caro-Kann. So after this, we have a very basic Caro-Kann opening here, very normal. Everything's very normal here. And my opponent strikes, and this is very typical. This is actually the way to play. On both sides, we're playing the opening correctly. So our opponent's attacking. How do we handle it? I simply defend, and now our opponent goes forward. Okay. Now, this whole video is going to be open files versus closed files. And the most important aspect of this, in my opinion, and what most players get wrong, is when kings are on opposite sides of the board from each other, and opponents will often lose, players will often lose the game and have no idea why the opponent's attack came much faster, much quicker than their own attack. Probably open files, and they had closed files to their king. So I'm going to show you how important it is, and this game is a drastic example of it, but it shows how powerful this concept is to have open files, to be creating open files to your opponent's king, and at the same time try to close the files that your opponent is attacking on. So I'm going to show you this right now. Right now I'm playing h4. I'm going for h5. h5 is going to try to open up this file, the h file, to my opponent's king. Now, the whole idea with the Caro-Kann, the setup is usually black wants to play this, and in the Sicilian they play that a lot. Here it would be a mistake because I have a battery on this diagonal, so he can't even play that. So that's why he doesn't play h5 here. And as a 1500, 1600, I'm not sure if he would play h5 anyway, but that's why he can't play h5. Okay, so here's a little pop quiz. What do you play here going along with the theme of this video? What do you think the best move here is for white? The best move here for white is to close the diagonal, not open it, or not develop and let black open files to your king. That would be bad. We want to close. And how do we close? We close by not taking and not letting our opponent take. We pass. Now this is closed. My opponent develops, and now I go to open files. Now again, if my opponent tries to close the position, he's actually dropping material and pawns around his king. So it's actually not super easy to defend here. My opponent therefore strikes in the center. This is actually a really bad move because I get this now with tempo, because I can make this move. I can pretty much I could take this right away, but first, what do? I don't want to open files. Even though this is not technically around my king, it's still, he could open this file too and open the C file. We don't want to do this. How do we close this half of the board and open the other half of the board? I just push. And not only that, but this move, for tactical reasons, actually traps wins material, because the bishop, if it goes here, I'm going to play this move. And if he takes, he's trapped, not to mention the file's open, and this is not good. And he's down material, really not good. So he comes here, he takes, and now we successfully opened the G file. So now the G file is open, not to mention we get a pawn, and his pawns are double isolated and weak. So now my opponent tries to at least get his bishop and queen in here. But you'll see, since everything's closed, it's very easy to defend this. I sink my bishop in there. And another instructive thing is, why I didn't play the pawn here is eventually the knight might come back here and maybe block like a rook check or something. But now if I keep the pawn here, this knight or whatever piece that might block this diagonal, this open, file, this open file, this can never happen because the pawn will take. So I can use my bishop to go and attack this square. And what am I attacking? I'm attacking queen check followed by checkmate. So my opponent defends. Now if I come here, it's not with check. If I come here, he'll attack me and block and defend. Checkmate. So I take the knight here, and my opponent attacks checkmate. But since he has closed files, there's no open files, there's no open rook attacking me and putting extra pressure on me. I probably should just play, the best move is actually play bishop c1. I played an inaccuracy here. However, I'm still winning and it's still fine. It's just that he has tricks. He has like bishop f4. And if I take here, I actually get in trouble with my back rank. But still winning. But he didn't play that. He played h5. He tried to desperately open up the files himself. He realizes now, hey, my opponent opened the files, and look how good his game is. I better start doing the same thing. If I can get rid of this pawn, which is basically what opening a file is, now my rook and queen will be attacking the king and putting pressure on my opponent. Here I just develop. He comes there. But it's too little too late, because now after I take the bishop, he takes back. I take, I'm threatening checkmate. And my opponent here opened the file, and I just, at this point, checkmate. And that is it. This is an extreme example, but it's very instructive, because I can't tell you how many chess players don't even really understand that strategy. They can win so many chess games so easily with very little calculation or at all, just by understanding this concept from this video. Anyway, hopefully you guys enjoyed that. If you liked that video, check out this one. I'll catch you guys next time. Go play some chess.